All right. All right. Hopefully, got some sound going. No technical issues. Okay. I know it's super late, but I had to make a quick video on this, y'all. This is the saltiest thread I've ever seen on the internet over the exclusivity of Hi-Fi Rush. Now remember, for the longest, the whole thing was Xbox has no games, right? That was the big thing, right? Well, today I saw this. This is so hilarious. I had to talk about it, man, because the level of salt in this thread is it's unreal. This is I'm telling you, you guys are gonna get a kick out of this. I hope you guys get a kick out of this as much as I have. This isn't something I usually do, because the whole fanboy stuff. You kind of leave it alone, but just oh my god, let's jump into this. Okay, the title of this thread: Hi-Fi Rush in development since 2017, as per developer. Microsoft paid to block it off Xbox through the Bethesda acquisition. Now, by the title alone, you know that this is the way they're trying to spit this is that Microsoft purposely paid for the studio that they own. That it's wrong that they're using their games as exclusive, right? And then saw this tweet from the Red Dragon. Now remember, these are the same people who for years told you that Xbox has no games, don't buy Xbox, and so on, right? All right. So Hi-Fi Rush creator says, people say you made this game for Game Pass. No, this game has been in development. This game has been in development long before Microsoft acquired Bethesda. Pitch game in 2017. Bethesda acquisition wasn't completed till 2021. Now, why is this guy mad? So this guy Red Dragon, he's kind of known for putting stuff out there to make things look bad. Dusty Turtle said, "Jesus, no matter what, Xbox will get." Hey, yeah, man, that's why you gotta laugh it off like I am, man. Because I find this hilarious. This, yo, the salt in this thread, Dusty, is so fucking funny. Again, this isn't not kind of content I usually make, but I saw this and I was just dying laughing so much. Just look at the salt here. Wow. Well, there it is, straight from the horse's mouth. Xbox. Why can't you make something for yourself? Not that the game looks very good. Okay, so not that the game looks very good. See, that's the qualifier he wants to put in. The game don't look good, but he's still upset that Microsoft is making a studio they paid for their game exclusive, steal from others. Okay, so Microsoft stole the game that they own. Failed to nurture and create it internally, and then pull out daddy's wallet to make it all okay. Disgusting business practice. No wonder Japan hates Xbox. The salt in this very first comment alone is just, oh, this is fantastic, man. Jay just said it's so funny that a cartoony game got them all. Yeah, that's so true because one of their things is that they got the big AAA bangers. And yet, there's one cartoony game that was stealth dropped at a random event, got them just all pissed off, man. J Dub was losing his mind too. I can imagine what he was saying. But this thread, and okay, here's the infamous Phil Spencer tweet: "When everybody plays, we win." This is the one. This is the one that they try to push. This is the one that they try to push hard on Xbox fans, right? And because Phil Spencer wants to reach a bunch of gamers by using Xbox, that all Xbox games should be multi-plat because Phil Spencer, he's just a nice guy thing. Nah, man, that's not how it works. You're not hypocritical for running your business. You're not a hypocrite for using games that you paid for. You literally bought the studio for content to have content on your service. Let's see. The body count here says you only win when your wallet or when you're lying his wallet. Funny how that works. Con man piece of trash. Yeah, the level of hate they have for Phil Spencer. By the way, again, you're going to notice just the unrivaled hate over this so-called cartoony game that the first guy flat out said doesn't even look that good. Okay, so why is everybody in this thread so pissy if the game don't look good? Alex and Frit are gonna have a field day with the amount of salt. Yeah, man. The level of salt is so hilarious that You would think, Dusty, that Microsoft are the ones who are paying for games like Final Fantasy 16 being exclusive, and that this problem is just so rampant on Xbox that that Sony can't compete in any way, right? We got the one guy who got banned has a sensible who's actually the sensible guy got banned. He said, "I don't see the problem." Sony did the same with Forspoken, so Sony users can keep the game for €80, and we take this game free on Game Pass. It's a win-win. Well, not for Forspoken Metascore. Yeah, it's funny how the one guy who actually makes sense, who called them out, who said, "Yeah, Sony paid for Forspoken. Sony don't own Square Enix." And I promise you, if Sony owned Square Enix, every single person in this thread, except for my band friend here, would be like, "Oh, you see, Microsoft, haha, Microsoft, you don't get Final Fantasy, right?" And and now I don't care for Metacritic. So when people, that's why I never used the Forspoken Metacritic against them. It's not my thing. I'm not a Metacritic. I don't care about review scores. I don't use review scores against games I don't like personally. If I don't like a game, it's due to personal preference. But the level, just the assault, man. He said there's no Metacritic for Hi-Fi Rush. I see why he got banned, because he's the only one who's speaking out against this, right? Not that it looks good. And he put the crying behind the smiley face. Yeah, that's exactly how he feels, man. That's exactly how the original guy felt who said that. It said they literally have nothing to talk about other than Xbox. Exactly, Terrence. And that's what makes this so funny. The only game they're playing is Twitter. See, this ain't even Twitter. This is just some thread that I end up seeing from somebody that was showing me it, man. The port bigot is crazy, right? Yeah, man. Jay, you think after being told that Xbox has no big bangers, no games, no AAA exclusive, no Japanese support, that this one game, amazing game by the way, released by Xbox Japanese developer they own, wouldn't cost this much butthurt? The guy replied, said, "Well, it doesn't. Looks like an American Saturday morning cartoon. I feel sorry for Tango having to launch into Game Pass as well." Now, notice what these PlayStation guys are doing here. On one hand, they're trying so desperately to say, no, the game don't even look good. But on the other hand, they're trying to pull the I feel sorry for devs for releasing again. Why would Bethesda accept $7.5 billion if they didn't know what was coming with these games? And this idea that we should feel sorry for Tango and for games launching on Game Pass, as if it's some bad thing, it's not. As we saw, games like High on Life had massive success thanks to Game Pass and all this other stuff. But just the level of assault, isn't this hilarious, man? Isn't this like one of the funniest things you've ever seen? Dusty Turtle said a cold part about it, it's only January and the salt level is high already. Could you imagine how it will be the rest of the year? Oh yeah, I can't wait till Starfield comes out. I can't wait till Redfall comes out, because those games has been in development for a long time too, no doubt, right? And the same people who tried to throw Deathloop or Ghostwire Tokyo in our faces a couple years ago about how, oh yeah, look, see, Bethesda got more games on Xbox or on PlayStation than Xbox, are the same ones who are now crying about one game they're pretending not to like, even though it's an amazing game. Nim said, yes, I am confident. If this was PlayStation exclusive, I'd see people here shitting on it. Game looks cool as fuck. Sometimes your rival get a W, guys. It's okay. Yeah, and he's right. But this guy who just with the God of War, because of course every time they got the God of War, Avatar, Spider-Man, they're lying. No one is shitting on the game. Game looks good. Stop it, man. The guy, this dude, the guy at the top literally said, not that the game looks very good, all while crying about it. So yeah, this guy pretending that people just hating on Forspoken, but well we're not shitting on the game. Yeah, you got a whole thread literally bitching that this game is exclusive. A bunch of salty people on here that are crying. Well, Phil Spencer's just a liar, and when we all game together, you know the little nonsense. Jay Dizzle said, "Remember, Unlimited, Using pony logic, if it's not cinematic soap opera walking simulator with stealth elements, it's not a good game. Well, if that's the case, why are they so upset over Hi-Fi Rush? You know, this Hi-Fi Rush is almost everything they've ever said Xbox needed: Japanese support, Japanese studio, new IP, nurture games. But oh wait, no, that's terrible. That's terrible. Oh, this is fine. You know, Kotaku says Final Fantasy 16 producers suggest PC players should just buy a PS5. Oh, that's fine. Final Fantasy 16, Sony don't own it. They don't own the Final Fantasy 7 remake. They don't own Silent Hill, and they don't own this last game here. I forgot what it's called. The one with the woman. It looked like it's called Shadow Blade or something. They don't own any of those studios. Yet I guarantee when those games come out, especially if they have good review scores, they're going to be used against you, Xbox fan. Oh, but we shouldn't be high, but we should be upset at Phil Spencer for High on Life or Hi-Fi Rush. All right. Jay said, I read one article that said Phil should put Hi-Fi on PS5 if they care about money, and that PlayStation 5 owners deserve to play that game. Yeah, I've heard that narrative about pretty much every game. Since Xbox started buying studios, Jay, every time they release a game, especially if it's a good one, they say the same thing. Oh, PlayStation fans deserve to play it. They'll make more money. They act like Xbox is this broke company that desperately needs Sony fans, even though Sony fans barely buy their own exclusives. Yeah, they were trying to push that this game was made possible on Microsoft. Always give credit to Phil instead of the devs. Okay, this from Gods and Monsters. He's out here, or he most likely a guy. Let's be real, because I don't think women do the console war stuff as ferociously as men do. He said, "Yep," and they were trying to push this game was made possible because of Microsoft. Always giving credit to Phil instead of the dev. That's not true at all. I've seen people since the game was released saying, "Hey man, Tango Games got a hit on their hands." You know, there are people who weren't into say the Evil Within, those horror games, and like, you know what, Hi-Fi Rush, excellent job, right? What they give credit for the Phil for is the same way that people give the quarterback credit in football, or the star NBA player, like LeBron gets all the credit when the Lakers win, right? Or Steph Curry gets all the credit when the Warriors win, right? This is nothing new, right? But the fact that you know, just the levels again. This is a $30 game that they're this upset about. Why? Because it's an awesome game. Why? Because because for years they tried so hard to tell you that PlayStation 5 was this amazing console. Xbox has no games. Where are the games? Xbox, I don't have a reason to own my Xbox Series X. And one game randomly dropped at the beginning of January, and it's got them this upset. This is just hilarious to me. The level again, this has got to be the saltiest thread on the internet, all because of one game, and you know, just fantastic stuff. And what they have this year: Forspoken, Spider-Man, and Final Fantasy. That's it. Yep. Dusty Turtle said, "You know what will break them mentally if Xbox Shadow drops Starfield or Hellblade 2. Well, apparently a rumor's going around that Starfield's coming March 23rd. I don't know if that's true. That seems a little too soon for a game of that size. We'll see. You know, we'll see what Bethesda's going to do. Because remember, they are doing their own show for Starfield. That's why they weren't at Developer Direct. So we'll see. Let's see. The game itself looks pretty good, but of course it's getting praised to outlandish degrees for reasons I can't fathom. Well, I can't fathom it, but it's almost too pathetic to consider real. Like Young Ye called it the biggest mic drop of all time. What the fuck? Yeah, again, they can't just accept. They can't just say, you know what, this game is good. I enjoyed it on Xbox and leave it at that. It is impossible for this fan base. Sorry about that. Yeah, but it is impossible for this fan base to just say, hey, you know what? The game was good and leave it at that. Here's the thing. I may prefer Xbox, but I've given Spider-Man credit. I've given the one game that I really like was God of War 3, the remastered that's on PlayStation. I like that one. Hell, here's a game that didn't even review well that I've kind of been enjoying on PlayStation, and it was a game that's exclusive to PlayStation from a company, the first studio they don't even know. That Valkyrie Elysium game. It's a decent hack and slash, and I'm a big fan of fast-paced gameplay like that. It's no hi-fi rush, but there's enjoyment to be made. I could sit here and say, hey, you know what? I enjoyed a game on PlayStation, and I'm cool. I don't feel the need to constantly tear down PlayStation. Like when I'm not doing the podcast stuff, I just enjoy my games. But these guys all upset over this one game. You know what I'm saying? And they get mad at YouTubers for giving it props. Just serious weirdo behavior. I heard about the producer of Final Fantasy said if you want to play Final Fantasy, buy a PS5. Screw that guy. Yeah, he did say that. He did say that, right? I'm pulling. He did say that, and let's get that article out here. And here it is. Let's see, Toolman. Here it is. Yeah, that they said that this stuff like this, back when Capcom had, Sony had Street Fighter 5 exclusive, and they said if the guy laughed and said no, just buy PlayStation 4. Oh, that never gets them riled up. A game that Microsoft owns being exclusive, oh, it's the end of the world. Two Man said because they've seen people saying Hi-Fi Rush is a great game, and they personally say it's a game of the year contender, it upsets them because they just hate Xbox so much they pray Stray as a game of the year nominee. Yeah, well, they gotta get over themselves, man. Sorry, listen, I've said it before and I said it again. This idea that Sony is this big, unstoppable, dominant force in gaming is just not the case. As we've seen, if Sony was so great, why aren't they buying Bethesda? Why aren't they buying Activision? And no, it's not the kindness of their heart that they care about gamers, that they're throwing money at third-party games to be time exclusive. They just can't afford it like Xbox can. Let's see, say whatever you want, but there are more people playing Forspoken, a full price $70 game on Steam than Hi-Fi Rush. And then this guy just proves them wrong. Forspoken is all the way down here. Hi-Fi Rush is the fourth popular game on Steam. Now Steam numbers are kind of bullshit to me because my thing with the Steam numbers and why I don't really just praise them religiously like some people is that if you're on Xbox or PlayStation, do you really care about Steam numbers? To the extent that okay, a game does well, it's nice to see it have success, not to see people buying it like I did and all. But at the end of the day, it's a platform I don't play on, so that's like me praising the Indianapolis Colts when I'm a Houston Texans fan. Ryan said Sony fans are so dumb and salty, man. The level of salt in this thread is just got to be some of the funniest things. Again, they love the hypocrisy thing. That's their big thing. Phil's this hypocrite for saying all gamers should enjoy games everywhere. But at the same time, right, they also love – see, this is what the truth is. They want to say Xbox has no games pretty much out of spite, right? I mean, that's a lie. Women are worst console warring. There's a Sony fangirl catfishing fanboys with OnlyFans content. Yeah, that was a guy first of all, Terrence, that who you're referring to, that was a dude pretending to be a woman, catfishing fanboys, Sony fanboys with the OnlyFans. So it's even worse than you're making it seem, man. That situation, that was a different level of embarrassment. And then a Sleepy Brown again. Some of them, it's nice to see a handful of the people with some sense. This guy Sleepy Brown with that funny Charlie Brown avatar said, Bethesda's ZeniMax acquisition completed 2 years ago. Of course, the new games won't release on PlayStation or Nintendo. Just like how Housemarque or Insomniac's next games won't come to Xbox or Switch. Yeah, again, it's funny whenever someone says this, they keep getting backlash of oh, you're just being a fanboy. No, that's how it works. Xbox fans don't expect Spider-Man or Ratchet and Clank or any Insomniac game to come to Xbox because we understand Sony owns it. Same with Zelda and Nintendo and so on. Dre Dizzle said, just imagine when Redfall, Forza, Starfield drop with high meta scores, PlayStation community will be on suicide watch. Yeah, and it's their fault, Jay Dizzle, for feeling that way because they hyped up Metacritic score so much that they did for some reason it didn't cross their mind, Jay Dizzle, that hey, you know what? Some other games could have high meta scores too. You know, personally, I'm in the camp that screw Metacritic. If you like a game, play it. Who cares what review scores got? And I will die on that hill. You know, and I won't be here. I won't be here. Listen, when Redfall drops, I'm not gonna look at the Metacritic. When Forza drops, I'm not gonna look at the Metacritic. When Starfield drops, I'm not gonna look at Metacritic. Same with Hi-Fi Rush. I don't know what the Metacritic for that is right now. It could be fucking 97 out of 100, and I still won't care. I think it's an excellent game because I've been playing it, and it's that simple. And Gods and Monsters once again being a fanboy here. Shadow dropped with no reviews, and yet you were all over Forspoken thread mad when Windows Central didn't get review copy. I thought releasing games with no reviews was damage control and anti-consumer. No, no, no. Listen, review scores is nonsense. Who cares what and this is another thing that this thread does. They try to make Metacritic seem way more important than it is in review scores. Like when they're talking points in this thread is about how the game Shadow dropped and you know people didn't get a chance to see the reviews before buying it. Who cares? I really get a sense that with some gamers, they 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 don't but they really base their opinion off what these damn review scores do. Now remember, I don't care what anybody says. I think most people don't even read the reviews. They literally just go to the review, scroll down all the way to the end, see the number, and then base their opinion off that. You know, Jay said it's only the beginning. It's only gonna get worse for these PlayStation fans. Yeah, yeah. If this one game, this one $30 game, got them this riled up, off, you're a hypocrite. Oh, this has been in development since 2017. Zero self awareness about the fact that they're literally playing Forspoken, a game Sony doesn't own. That's just a level of irony and hilarity I couldn't pass up. That's why this thread is so hilarious to me. This is comedy. I'm not this ain't something that upset me or nothing. This is comedy hour on the limited productions channel, basically. Dusty Turtle said, "I'm looking forward to E3 2023. Can't wait to see what Xbox has come." Yeah, so I wonder if they're going to keep the same format, Dusty, where everything we see at E3 is going to be for the release window the second half of this year into 2024. You know, I think that's a good way to set things up. You know, it keeps pretty much the flow of games we're getting into in a realistic window. You know, instead of because people are still criticizing Microsoft for having these large windows, showing off Fable year about what they showed off Fable remake 2020 I think, and we're in 2023 and still nothing. Sony fans just mentally retarded. Yeah, yeah, man, they lost their mind over this game. A game that they're port big and hard for on PlayStation. It's just so weird. Again, the Xbox has no game camp, right? And all this that one game just has them this upset. And you got Jimbo going to Brussels lying to regulators about what Microsoft would do with Call of Duty. Yeah, that's a whole different level of lying because Microsoft has what they offered them a 10-year deal. They constantly say they want to put the game on Nintendo. They ain't going to take Call of Duty away. What? None of that matter. But what Jim if Jim was telling the truth, he just tell him that he don't want to lose that revenue Call of Duty brings them when they got the exclusive match stuff like that. Let's see. Adams Apple here said, "Are you seriously trying to equate a publisher picking and choosing which outlet gets review code with a game that had a literal shadow drop. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Because nuance don't matter to PlayStation fans, right? Nuance don't matter at all to them. It's if PlayStation does it, it's right. If Xbox does it, it's wrong. Even if it contradicts previous, stuff that they previously support, right? Ryan Medusa said Xbox Game Pass is skyrocketing like crazy. Of course it is, man. Look, man. If you're Xbox Game Pass subscriber, you just got a awesome game shadow dropped day one. And then you're going to get Redfall in May. Then you're going to get Minecraft Legends in April. Then you're going to get Forza Motorsport, which I think is coming in June if I were a guessing man. Then you got Starfield, which is still slated to come out the first half of this year, according to Bethesda. Bethesda has not changed their mind, has not any updates. Anytime anybody asks, hey, when Starfield coming? Bethesda's flat out saying, yeah, it's still coming in the first half of this year. So, that's why I say let them be mad. Stuff like this, I can't get angry over. I just gotta, and again, just this gold mine of salt to do with the God of War logo or avatar. Yeah, Shadow Drop is way shittier to do. They pass all reviews instead dodging just Xbox sites. Just hilarious salt. Again, this idea that you need a game needs high review scores. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Not even close. Who cares about review scores? Play the game. Listen. PlayStation fans. I'm letting you know your life is going to be so much easier if you just play a game like Forspoken, a game I'm personally not into. If you just play it and enjoy it, and you don't have to do the stuff like this. You don't have to say, "Oh, Shadow Dropping's way shittier than not giving outlets review scores." It's crazy. I don't give a fuck about Steam count. I'm a console. Yeah, man. I see Steam count get used a lot from Xbox and PlayStation fans, and it's one that don't really make sense to me because now if you play on Steam, it makes sense. But what do Xbox and PlayStation fans give a damn about Steam numbers? Yeah, man. And they do it with every Xbox game. And especially. First of all, I've always said for a long time, Shinzo, games take forever to make, right? They take a long time to develop for, but they try to create this narrative where, okay, Sony doesn't own Spider-Man, but they're never going to be upset that Spider-Man is exclusive to PlayStation. However, they want you to be so fake upset that just because Hi-Fi Rush started development in 2017 it means that whatever changes happen in between 2017 and 2023 in this case literally being purchased by Microsoft that should be null and void. That shouldn't have any impact on anything, right? Games should still come out. They want this fantasy idea. They want to push this narrative that Xbox games should only count if every single aspect of the game started before they were purchased before Bethesda, and that's just nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Microsoft didn't drop $7.5 billion on Bethesda for the status quo to keep games on PlayStation. Sorry, guys. You guys could pretend to be all set all you want, but until you bring that energy to games like Forspoken or the games like Final Fantasy 16 to games like Stellar Blade and everything else that's Silent Hill remake, until you bring that same energy to those games, I'm never going to take stuff like this serious. This is just pointless crying to me. Hilarious at it, but still. Terrence Smith said, "We are not saying Forspoken is trash. We are hating. It's trash because poor optimization and bad storytelling. Yeah, and bad, embarrassing dialogue that it makes CW shows look like The Sopranos." Shinzo Elite said, "I don't care about Metacritic scores. They're useless to me. I play and buy what interests me or not." Yeah, exactly. I'm the same way, if a game don't review well, like I've had people tell me, "Oh, how can you play this game? It's got this Metacritic score." And it's like, dude, I don't care. If the game looks fun, I'm going to play it. If I like it, great. If not, okay, I didn't like it. But the point is, I made a decision based on my own. FaZe, hey man, FaZe, what's up, my brother, man? It's been a while since I've seen you around here, man. And he said, "Fucking clown these ponies." Yep, yep. Just all this anger over, again. So apparently, to him, Housemarque and Insomniac aren't good examples. Insomniac literally made a game exclusive on Xbox called Sunset Overdrive, and that's not a good example. Shinzo Elite says Sony showed God of War and on Horizon Zero Dawn in 2013. Those didn't drop till 2017 and 2018. Yeah. Oh, Sony has a huge, long history. Hell, look at Wolverine. Wolverine had no gameplay. It was just a CGI cutscene, and everybody acts like since it's being developed by Insomniac that oh they don't need to see more to be hyped. But yet they want you Xbox fans to be like, well, I can't enjoy a game because of no, it doesn't have um you know because it doesn't have review scores or proper marketing and all this other hot takes, and all of it is just hating and crying because it's not on PlayStation. Like Faye said, Hi-Fi Rush only sucks because they don't have it on their platform. Yep, that's it. That's it. Because if it was any other situation, they'd be throwing this game in your face. And the game is amazing. It's incredibly fun, incredibly creative, nice blended genres. I'm loving it. The boss fights are fantastic too. The more combos, the timing could be a little difficult sometimes, but that's part of the course on getting on a game like that. Games need to have some type of mechanic that you need to learn. You know how it is. Easy to pick up, hard to master. Those are usually games usually play out very well. And Adam's Apple, he's absolutely correct. He said, if it wasn't a Microsoft published game, it wouldn't have been on Game Pass and get as much love and exposure from the internet. ZeniMax acquisition, all the studio and projects they're making, releasing on Game Pass, will be great experience for gamers. I can't believe it's crazy. I give props to people who could come on common sense on threads like this, where everybody else are just losing their mind, fanatics, right? The majority of those again, this is another narrative that they love. They love the push that, well, it's not the same with Insomniac, or it's not the same when Sony does it because their games were on PlayStation. And again, don't listen to these arguments. They're false arguments. They're arguments that aren't, not even, they're not made to make any point. They're just made to try to get you on their side, basically, for an argument that literally makes no sense. Goggle posted, let them ponies live in their daydreams. By the time the Activision Blizzard King deal passes, they'll wake up and could be completely shook. Oh yeah, I can't wait for the anger spewed when that's finally over. When that Activision deal saga is finally done and finally approved. You think Forspoken is bad. You think Starfield would be bad. Oh, they're gonna lose their minds then. Forspoken looks like a game where they made compromises to save time, just like Callisto Protocol. Yeah, I'll say this. There's something about the game that didn't click with me. And the thing with me is that I could forgive games as long as they're fun. But yeah, Forspoken, on if you know what, the gameplay for Forspoken reminded me of this game. What is it called? Oh, Infamous, back on the PlayStation 3, gameplay wise. Writing wise, it reminds me of Saints Row 2022, where you could tell that they're trying to target the modern 15-year-old with this almost Marvel-like corny dialogue, where she's overly sarcastic all the time, takes nothing serious type thing. It's the game, and I don't and look, I don't need to shit on Forspoken. If you like Forspoken, that be my guest. Don't, I said before and I'll say it again, don't let my opinions ever dictate what you feel. I'm just speaking my mind. But I'm not like these guys here who needs to constantly what's that word, where they got to constantly, I guess, damage control, if you will, their opinions over a game that they claim it isn't even good, and yet they're still mad it's not on PlayStation. Let's see here. Yeah, Metacritic is useless. Though it's good to get a gauge on the general gaming media, they are hard like sometimes. Yeah. Um. Listen, man. I remember back 2015, Metal Gear Solid 5 had some incredible Metacritic score, right? I think it's one of the highest rated games on Xbox One in general. And I played it, and I found the open world to be very empty, very boring. And I was stunned at the game of all games that didn't get criticized for being unfinished. Metal Gear Solid 5 was that game. The game was clearly not finished, right? Right there's still a lot, clearly still a lot left on the table on its development, and it got no criticism. And that's an example of where I feel like, I don't, Metacritic isn't gonna 93, 95, 97 Metacritic score, whatever it got, is not gonna sway my opinion on a game that I played and didn't like. He said that record boss fight was fire. Yeah, yeah, it is. Um, I can't wait. I'm going to upload more gameplay tomorrow in the mix of some other boss fights I was doing today. And again, just absolutely excellent game, man. The boss fight, it's one of those games that everything works. This looks like this is a site called Icon Era. I never heard of it until today. Icon Era. So I say just Google it. Google it. Maybe you could find it somewhere. Yeah, but you just see that oh man, just hilarious, man. The level of salt in this thread. Yeah, and then you got Toad Sage here. He said, "You say this as if no one heard of ZeniMax Studios before poor little underdog Microsoft bought them." Again, just weird narrative change that listen, Game Pass clearly reaches a larger audience than non-Game Pass games. Hi-Fi Rush probably would have done well on its own. Being on Game Pass, I think, does add a lot does add a lot to its exposure for people, because you could just download it right now and play it if you got the Xbox Series X, S, or PC. Terrence Smith said, after the Activision deal, they're going to lose their mind where Microsoft pursue Ubisoft, Sega, or even Square Enix. I hope they avoid Square Enix, man. Their practices annoy me. I wouldn't mind seeing Ubisoft or Sega, though. That'd be pretty incredible. But yeah, listen, man. The truth of the matter is, uh, Sony just exists. Sony only exists because Microsoft lets it, basically. Let's see. Okay, he posted. So this guy posted more. Hi-Fi Rush also launched without any pre-orders. The process where people were blindly given money because of the Square Enix branding. Yeah, man. Again, this guy here, Adam. There's a couple of guys in this thread who have some sense, right? And they're kind of fighting back. This guy Ash Hunter said, "I'll say one thing: Hi-Fi Rush is less than half the price of Forspoken, since people keep bringing that game up for sketchy reasons. They're bringing it up because the game's released literally one day apart, and one game took the gaming world by storm. By the other one, uh, you had David Jaffrey saying, "Oh, I'm going to buy the game because racist people don't like the game, don't like Forspoken," and race has nothing to do with it." Then maybe there are some races out there who makes Forspoken is woke. I don't think so. I think that people play the game. It's not for them, and it's literally that simple. Sometimes it's as simple as people don't like games I enjoy. As much as I stated K2, I was addicted to that game when it first came out. Right, and everybody loved it. Oh well, it's still one of my favorite games. Yeah, and now they're trying to be financial experts. Uh, but yeah, I just want to show this thread because the level of salt here was just hilarious, just absolutely hilarity. Um, Dusty Turtle said, "PlayStation guys can't accept Xbox doing good this generation. They want them to continue to continue the ways of the Xbox One generation, so they continue bashing Xbox so they feel superior." Yeah, yeah, it's like that, and it's not. Listen, 2013 was literally a decade ago. almost a decade to the point of now, Microsoft would be doing their reveals of the console and stuff, and the criticism for the F generation was starting to build up and fester. That's not the case now. In 2023, Xbox is a completely different animal, and now we see that they're releasing some of the most creative and fun games there are. Hi-Fi Rush looks brilliant. Redfall, Redfall, I'm falling in love with that game hardcore. You know what I'm saying? Goggle Post said, so true that what a lot of Sony fans fail to get, Microsoft can easily buy every game as exclusive and spend less than half of the Activision deal. Yeah, Goggle. Yeah, they can. But here's the thing. I think the reason why Microsoft does this route is that they learned last generation that just simply letting third parties make your exclusives isn't the way to go. It's better to own it that way, that everything that happens is under your watch. And I say that because you look at Remedy with Quantum Break. I love Quantum Break. Think it's a great game. Didn't light the world on fire in terms of overall success, so we're not going to get a Quantum Break 2. Sunset Overdrive was my favorite game of the 8th generation. We're not getting a Sunset Overdrive 2. um Recore, we haven't seen anything up for Recore 2. So although a lot of those Xbox One games were great on their own, they didn't have the success that we see the games are having now. Sea of Thieves and type stuff. And also, you notice the studios that how can I put this? The studios that Microsoft didn't own, like Playground Games when they're making the Forza Horizon series, or Undead Labs. Notice that they ended up purchasing them. Uh, and I guess that's quote unquote the right way, if you will, because they were making games for Xbox before they got purchased, so it makes sense. Again, narrative that they only say. Oh, I know they don't do it. That's bad for the market. Dion Hayes, hey, what's up, Dion? Another great game on Xbox. Wave Tales used to be on Stadia, and now it's on Xbox. Just bought it. It's great. Oh, I never heard of Wave Tales. I'm gonna have to check that out. Thanks for the suggestion, Dion. Dusty Turtle said, I can't wait to play Redfall. That's pretty much Xbox version of Borderlands, and I'm a big fan of the Borderlands game. Yeah, Redfall looks fantastic, man. All the protagonists look interesting. I'm torn between playing as Layla, Ellison, or Jacob. Because Jacob, he got that stealth. It looks like he specializes in stealth, and I tend to like that style of gameplay in my games. So we'll see, man. All of them look like they're going to be creative and fun to play as. This dude said, "Well, it doesn't look good. If it's a $30 indie." Again, just hating. The level of salt in this thread is just, man. You could feel the salt factory. You know what I'm saying? With the salt here, man. And I like the people that are calling them out, saying, "Oh, well, it looks bad," and yet here you are crying about it. They bought these studios to get exclusive concepts that they can't create themselves. Feels amazing. This is the argument. I think if any argument they love is this, that Microsoft can't create on their own, and that they buy everything, and yet not they never. It's funny how they never with the slightest hint of irony mention these games. None of these games on screen Sony owns. All of them time exclusive. It's called Wavetail by Thunderful. Okay, yeah. I'll check out Wavetail in the mix, and Dion. The black girl is pretty much a siren from Borderlands. Yeah, man. She got like telekinetic powers I was seeing and all that other stuff. But yeah, back to my point. This what you see on screen. They never ever mentioned that Sony. Oh, Sony, man, how come you paying for games off platforms? And you don't own it, but yet all Microsoft. Oh, they buying everything. Phil, Unite All Gamers. All it is it's bad faith argument, and bad faith argument is pretty much that they don't actually care about the argument they making. It's just that the hidden agenda is that Xbox sucks, basically. Renji here also looked like he bring us some common sense. It's called word of mouth, which is better than any other type of review. Steam reviews started coming shortly after launch and was absolutely glowing. The game just looked cool and polished. Oh, that's another thing. The game does play perfectly. That's right. And then of course you had streamers playing it and telling thousand people. Yeah, I believe that's grassroots marketing, if I'm not mistaken, where they let the word of mouth push the game over your traditional ways of doing it. And and yeah, and this guy, he pretty much playing the neutral card. But overall, it makes sense. What's the big deal? He mentions games like Kena and Stray, which aren't on Xbox, right? Nothing which Xbox gamers will miss. Oh, well, that's fair. Yeah, but Uh, yeah, you should at least pretend to read the thread and messages before parroting the same replies. Here, let me pull some quotes. Oh man, this guy came with the receipts. Just one greed side parroting about subservices. So damn, he put out all the receipts. This is funny. Hopefully, when Xbox exits the hardware business, the gaming culture will begin to heal. A lot of them are upset Xbox is dying. Wow. These are some great takes. Oh man, Adam's apple, man, you came in clutch with these. These are good. What exactly did you take umbrage with? What Xloaf? Oh, I never heard of Xloaf. That's new. To acquire more former third-party devs and take games away from their real fan bases. I like how they call real fan bases. Jeez, man, this is. Oh, he found the salt mine with these comments. Oh, this is fantastic. However, I do think Xbox gamers lack a spine by supporting such a disgusting company as Xbox. And we're rightfully blaming the Xbox, an American fat man hot dog console that actively hates Japanese games and Japanese gamers. That's so funny. I love the comments he found because this just sums up like everything. This last one is probably the cream of the crop because Tango Works Games, they're a Japanese studio. And yet, and again, this idea that Xbox hates Japan and all this other stuff. Oh, that's just. I wish sometimes I wish could create salt this good, man. Oh, I got to go to this site like Reset Era. Yeah, it seems like it, man. This reads less like Phil's two-facedness and more like whining from Sony people, as you call them, whining about other platforms. You can continue to defend them. I don't expect any different, but at least be honest about it. Don't try to pretend that the folks you're defending here are some kind of impartial gamers. Yo, he is absolutely right, and but that's what they do. That's what they do. They come out here, they pretend to be impartial, all while only have vitriol for Xbox. Never mention when Sony does it, because when Sony does it, it's fine. When Sony does it, it's fine. When Xbox does it, oh, anti-consumer. They all become moral experts and financial experts and everything in between. Lawyers and everything. Oh, they're taking games away. Like Hi-Fi Rush is a new IP. What real fan base are they taking that game away from? Joe Sinister. Hey, what's up, Joe, man? Love your stuff. He said, if they can't handle Hi-Fi Rush's success, this will be a long generation for them. Imagine when Starfield drops. Listen, when Starfield drops, they're gonna, they're really gonna lose their mind. Because the only way they could ever experience that game is through YouTube. They're gonna act a fool when Redfall drop. They're gonna act a fool. They're gonna ignore the comparison videos when Forza dropped compared to GT7. You know. Again, more hating from both comments. This folks said Xbox fans got their first party game that's actually good, which we know that's objectively not true. They simply just aren't used to this. They waited 10 years for this moment. Yeah, again, if we go down 10 years, that's definitely not true. All Microsoft had to do was cut a $70 billion check and steal a number of once multi-platform IP from state. Again, when Microsoft does it, it's stealing. But notice how not one of them, except for the sensible few, some of whom got banned, are saying, or they never again. Why is it so? So Microsoft owns Bethesda. That's stealing. Sony rents Spider-Man. That's fine. Oh, that's just business. Let's see. Night at night here. Sort of amused to see folks be taken for a ride because of this game. I guess this is what happens in the age of social media. Yeah, I think so too. Crisis actors crying hypocrisy from Phil only elevate the clown, the game in question, the game give his followers the platform to do trolling as few of the posters who everyone know by name does in this thread. Can't fault them. It's their own stupidity. The fact folks wrestle with these posts without realizing that you're never gonna get what you want says quite a lot. This, if anything, what you're saying, uh the old saying on Tennessee, I know is in Texas, probably in Tennessee, that fool me once, shame on you. Then you can't fool me again. Any press is good press. Keeps Xbox in the conversation. Yeah, this guy, he's right and wrong. He's right that Microsoft just gets unlimited press, basically. Whatever Microsoft does, people talk about. Let's be real here. So I guarantee. Listen, Forspoken literally came out a day before the developer direct show, and Hi-Fi Rush took its lunch money. All right, and I know that these guys, Mobile Suit said it is what it is. No need to pretend to be upset. Yeah, pretend to be upset is the perfect 4 words to sum up this thread. Pretending to be upset, because that's all they're doing. They're gonna support the game and act like they getting over by paying $1. They are so dumb. They act like engagement to the service don't matter. Yeah, and it's funny you say that, FaZe, because both Microsoft and Sony over the years said that the measurements of success isn't just simply how many consoles you sold. It's engagement. And Phil even said this years ago, and people got mad at him when he said it. It's like, and I'm paraphrasing, what's the point of selling an Xbox? What's the point of selling 2 million Xboxes if only 500,000 of them are going to buy our games on the system, use our services, and so on? So he wanted to increase that. Now you look at this, where 70% of Xbox Series S and X owners are subscribed to Game Pass. That's what they want. That's what they want. Hey, Fireboss, what's up, man? Nothing much, man. I'm just having fun because this salty thread, the saltiest thread on the internet, I've ended up finding about Hi-Fi Rush being exclusive. This thread had everything from saying it doesn't look good to still being upset that the game was stolen from their quote unquote real a new IP has a real fan base. It's just been a roller coaster ride, man. It's just so much fun. Yeah, again, listen, I want PlayStation fans to understand this. Whenever you quote Phil Spencer, this isn't the gotcha you think it is. Up late, yeah, realist. I actually fell asleep after work. Not gonna lie, so I'm gonna be up for a while. Um, so he quoted Phil Spencer, said, "No way," but Phil said this weeks ago. We turn away from dividing players and creators, and instead towards each other as we advance and amplify joy together. This is the echo effect of gaming joy. See, when they quote Phil Spencer, they want to make it seem like Phil Spencer is saying is including PlayStation, Nintendo, and everything in between when he says stuff like this. Phil Spencer, first of all, a lot of this shit is just PR talk. That's one. So I don't know why they take PR talk so literal. Oh yeah, I see. Yes, you were in the same situation, realist. Guess it's just one of them days. But yeah, they first of all they take Phil Spencer's PR talk at literal face value for some reason, and they want to create this idea that when Phil Spencer says, we want to bring people together, they want to pretend that he's saying, well, I want to bring Nintendo fans and PlayStation fans, when really he's talking about growing the Xbox brand and into people being connected to the Xbox ecosystem the way that like my brother's a big Apple fan. He owns the iPod. I mean not iPod, iPad. Then he'll jump on his on the Mac or whatever the fuck it's called. Then goes to his iPhone, right? He loves his Apple products. That's what Phil Spencer wants with this whole connected together shit. Yeah, man, they love to twist Phil's words as if they don't know what he's talking about, and if they do, you know what I'm saying. If they don't know what they're talking about, they need to learn reading comprehension. He said, "I thought it was only possible on the Game Pass model." Again, you get the Game Pass. Hey, this thread is so wonderfully salty. Just hilarious, man. Just hilarious, man. But this kind of don't make. I guess he meant the first boss. Like, I just can't take PlayStation fans talking shit or dismissing this game's hype after Stray from last year. Talking about an overhyped game, this game is far better than that shit, and it isn't even anywhere close to being as overhyped. Y'all didn't say shit about that. Now, did you? Well, Renji. Well, Renji. You know this guy. He ain't wrong. Because remember, Stray was hyped so much. Please feel free to correct me. Was that not one of the Game of the Year contenders, Stray? And Hi-Fi Rush blows that out the water. They quick to quote Phil Spencer, but don't call out Jim Ryan whenever he screws them over. Yeah, so the lack of it's funny. It's funny, Terrence, the lack of ever quoting Jim Ryan, because Jim Ryan literally lied to them. We believe in generations, then all these games are cross-gen. We could go on. Hell, where's Mark Cerny been since 2020? That dude fell off the face of the planet. He's got some cool screenshots of the game. So it looks like this dude. Now game is okay, maybe a 7.5. So let me get this straight. So this guy, Body Count, he was the guy who created this thread, bitching in the thread. It looks like he signed up to Game Pass to play it anyway, and now he's trying to hate on the game. This is the fact that. So let me get this straight. Here's again. The guy who posted these screenshots, who posted this comment, he's the creator of the thread. He in the first comment, he said, "Oh, the game don't look good anyway. The game don't look good anyway." So you played it. So you start up Xbox and played it. So you use your Game Pass subscriber to play it. Stray was mid, good art, but minimal gameplay. Yeah, minimal gameplay in a Sony game that doesn't surprise me. Meanwhile, Hi-Fi Rush is a blend of all different types of gameplay. Realist. But yeah, man, my point is Body Count. He created this thread. He said the game don't look good. Yet he goes on Game Pass and plays it. You know what you just did, Body Count? You just supported the game. What? No, I didn't support it. No. If you pay for Game Pass and you play the game, you supported it. Oh, this idea that supporting only means purchasing game. No, it doesn't. Because devs have said time and time again, they love the success Game Pass has brought to them. Read what the developers of Guardians of the Galaxy said when that went to Game Pass last year. Look at what although I believe he's in some legal trouble, the creators of High on Life said when that game went to Game Pass. So yeah, I just find it hilarious that all the hating this guy did, all the hating in this thread, he still ended up supporting the game by playing it. Hey, PlayStation fans, when you play an Xbox game, even if you don't own it through Game Pass, you're supporting the game. I hate to break it to you. Oh man, he gave Xbox. Yeah, man, that's hilarious. He gave Xbox his money all to hate on a game. This is just this is next level. This is next level. This is again without the slightest hint of irony. Without the slightest hint of irony, this dude ends up playing the game and supporting the game he said doesn't look good. Can you imagine that? When I say a game don't look good, I'm sure not playing it. I'm still not dropping any money to fucking play it because it doesn't look good. A game has to listen. For me to play a game, it means that at some basic level, I have some interest to at least try it out. At least try it out to give it a chance. But this guy, he literally created this game to hate, and he supported the game anyway. That's I don't know. I don't know. And he's still PS Japan hates Xbox. He said this again after again, Tango works as a Japanese studio, and they made the most creative Japanese game I've sure played in a long time. Um, it just so yeah, I think yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I think this thread kind of ended with me after this because this dude created created this whole he's the one who started, he's the one who started this whole thread. Hilarity bitched about it, played it anyway. I love gaming. You know what? I gave the gaming community a hard time, but this level of entertainment, oh, thank you so much, because this is just hilarity, even more pony than Reset Era. They're not very bright. No, not at all. I mean, just. Oh man, oh, it's more than legal trouble. Rolled credits on Hi-Fi Rush took me 15 hours, 10 out of 10. Yeah, yeah, I'm probably gonna end up finishing it this weekend too, man. Look, Shane, if I didn't have real life responsibilities like a job, I had a long ass day at work like 10 hours. That's why my ass was knocked out after work. About 10, 11 hours, basically. I would not turn that game off. It's brilliant, man. Bro, King Thrash did a live title for Spoken, should be Xbox exclusive. We don't want that crap. Well, I mean, here's the thing: it's a time exclusive, so it's probably going to be on Xbox anyway, right? But yeah, man, I don't even know what that means. For Spoken should be an Xbox exclusive. Sony only makes one type of game or support one type of gaming scene, and that's these third person games. Hey, what's up, Smitty Smith? These opponents never take a break, do they? No, they don't. Or of time, but because they don't take a break, I get to have a lot of fun with this thread, man. The fact that this guy here, Body Count, created this whole thread just to support the game anyway, I just find to be because look, Body Count, he's the one who started this whole thread bitching about the Hi-Fi Rush, and he ended up supporting it anyway. Cherry on top. Just a cherry on top of the fun one of the funniest fucking threads I ever read, because all it just salt. Doesn't matter what Xbox does, they'll always bash. Oh yes, Silent Hill dude. Oh, by the way, welcome Silent Hill dude. You know, but you're absolutely right, man. It doesn't matter, but that's what makes it so funny. That's what makes it so funny to me. And that's why, look, Silent Hill dude. This stuff doesn't bother me. I find it hilarious. I find it hilarious that this guy, he unironically supported a game he hated. That he said that, claiming Microsoft stole. Which you can't steal something you own, by the way. I think I think they forget. I think they don't know what the meaning of ownership mean. You can't steal something you own. You do know that, right? You didn't buy a car and and you steal it out the lot. You do know that's not how it works. I knew it was Shane. I'm listening, but I heard 15 hours. Yeah. Hey man, the game is bigger than you think. You know what I'm saying? And I think it makes some good replay value if you could go to higher difficulties and all this other stuff. You unlock more combos and more support characters and things like that. But yeah, man, I think the game's fantastic. Smitty Fifth, just getting ready for work. It's 2 a.m. Man, where do you work? That you work at night shift, Smitty? 2 a.m. Oh, yeah. But all right, guys, I think I'm gonna call it a night there. Thank you for joining on this late night stream. I know this isn't my usual MO, but when I saw just how salty everybody was in this thread, except for it's funny. I saw someone who was pro Xbox and got banned in this thread, basically. But the point is, when I see the guy who created the thread just endlessly bitching, right? Endlessly bitching. He created this thread with this. Oh, just why can't you make something for yourself? Everything you've heard before, only to support the game anyway. I didn't see that plot twist coming. I gotta admit, I didn't see the plot twist of him playing the damn game on Game Pass coming. Oh man, yeah, everybody, have a good night, man. Have a good night. These Sony cultists are Joe Sinister, the comedy hour with unlimited production. Because again, just I should have seen it coming. I should have seen that plot twist coming. I didn't, but it's hilarious. Tip of the iceberg. Way to cap it off to see that the guy who hated supported it anyway. All right, everybody, have a good night and enjoy your weekend. And I'm out.